Congressional intern Daniel Hernandez is being called a hero for his role in yesterday's shooting. The college junior was just days on the job when he rushed to help Congresswoman Giffords. And he joined us this evening from the University Medical Center in Tucson. Daniel, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, sir. Take me back to yesterday, if you will. You're at the event. You hear gunshots. What did you do next?
I was about 30 to 40 feet away around the corner helping sign people in for the event. So I tried to rush towards where the Congresswoman would be.
When you got to the Congresswoman, what condition was she in, and what did you do?
When I got to the Congresswoman, there was a few other people who were down. So the first thing I did was to check pulses and to see if they were still breathing. I was able to check 2 or 3 people before I got to the Congresswoman, and I noticed the severity of her injuries. It looked like she had been hit in the head. So she then became my top priority. So the first thing I did was to try and get her up so that she wasn't slumped over in any danger of breathing in her own blood because she was bleeding profusely. The next thing I did was to make sure that I applied pressure to her wound to try and stem the flow of blood.
Daniel, we have a picture of you holding Congresswoman Giffords' hand as she's being taken away on the stretcher. During the time you were with her, what did you say to her, and did she say anything to you?
She wasn't talking to me at that time. However, she was communicating by squeezing my hand when I would ask her a question. But the main thing I was trying to do after the EMTs came in was to try and give her some comfort and try and just let her know that someone was with her.
I understand. It has obviously been a very emotional 24 hours for you. How are you doing? How is the Congresswoman's staff doing?
I'm doing well, as best as could be expected with the type of things that happened over the last 24 hours, but just really saddened by the people who are still wounded, not just the staff, but also the other victims who were constituents of Congresswoman Giffords. And the staff is doing it as well as could be expected with what's been happening over the last day.
Daniel Hernandez, we thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much, Russ.